start with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You can sit down or you can lay down. And it'll be up to you how far you're gonna push it, because we will be holding our breath. And so obviously there's always a potential that you could pass out. And it's not recommended that you hold it that long. You know, if you feel like you're going to pass out, you should breathe, okay? But sit or lay down, and I'll kind of show you how it starts. It just starts with breathing through the mouth, big breaths. So you can start with me when you're ready. We'll just big inhale, big exhale through the mouth. Like trying to get it all in and all out in just one quick second. But not in a mad hurry, not like breath of fire, not really, not like that. Just we're gonna do 30 more just like that. Keep it going. Ten more. Take a deep inhale in, keep inhaling. Let it all out and hold. So keep the breath suspended out as long as you can. So do not inhale. Start to notice what happens in the mind. Try to soften through the face. Do not inhale, just hold here. As long as you can, you're going to refrain from taking that next inhale. If you can, you'll wait just a little bit longer, but as soon as you need to, feel free to take that breath. Once you do decide to take an inhale, just bring your hand to your heart so I'll know where you're at if you're breathing again. Okay, you've both taken a breath. All right. So he has you do that a couple of times, but you can do it on your own. It's pretty awesome. It's probably the quickest, easiest way to get into a different mind space. You know, if you're in a funk and you're like needing something to get you out of it, it's been my go-to lately, that and the ice baths too. It's just a really quick, easy, accessible hack to kind of getting out of your head. But there's also all kinds of science behind why it kind of resets things. So yeah, maybe you look into that. He's an interesting one. He has a hard time kind of showing you how to do the breath. It's funny, the first couple times I was like, so am I supposed to do this or this? But what I got from it is basically you just do a hyperventilating breath about 40 times, and then you inhale a big breath, and then you let it all out for as long as you can. But you'll get to where you can hold your breath for a couple minutes, and it's pretty cool. You basically have some pretty wild experiences kind of in that active imagination zone that sometimes you tap into right before you fall asleep. You'll have some, maybe even hallucinations. It's pretty interesting. But we'll go ahead and get started. We'll just do that one round today. I just wanted to try that out. I've been enjoying that lately. So we're going to come into a child's pose. And now we're just going to do some box breathing, meaning just 4 equal parts. So you find a count that works for you. Maybe it's 4 counts. You inhale 4, and then you hold for that same 4. And then you exhale for 4. And then you hold the breath suspended out for 4. On the inhale, imagine breathing a little more length into your spine and the back of your neck. On the exhale, imagine breathing a little more softness into your face, to your shoulders, melting through the heart. to open the shoulders a little more, go ahead and lift those wrists up, coming up onto tented fingertips. And do one more full round of that box breath. Now we're going to walk our hands over to the right to lengthen out the whole left side. If you can, lower your head back down, root back into that left sit bone, and breathe a little more length into the whole left side of your body. And then exhale a little more softness as you melt in. Slowly come back through center and over to the left. Rooting back through that right sit bone. Inhale through the whole right side of the body to fill up. Exhale, settle in a little deeper. Slowly come back to center. And come on up to your hands and your knees. We'll do a couple rounds of cat-cow here, but first really set things up. Make sure everything's stacked in place. Trying to come into alignment here. Shoulders over, elbows over wrists, hips over knees. Now breathe a little more length into your spine as you shine the heart forward and roll the shoulders back. Now inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward. Really engage the hands to pull the heart forward more. Look up, fill up, one more sip. Exhale, press into the hands, tuck the tailbone under. Pull the belly button back into the spine, tuck the chin all the way to the chest. So now we won't find that 4 equal parts, but still try to find that little pause between each breath. And see how long you can make each breath last. So we're kind of practicing that patience muscle. Instead of our natural kind of in a hurry to on to the next thing, we're trying to really, really savor every little moment and every breath by holding on to it a little bit more than we would. So trying to make each breath last as long as you can, like you actually want to be in this moment. No rush at all for the next breath or the next move. Next exhale, we're gonna round all the way up to kneeling. To standing on the knees here. Let your chin come up last, lift the heart, roll the shoulders down the back. So make sure your hips are over your knees. Inhale the arms up. Interlace your fingers. See if you can glue your palms together. See if you can actually squeeze your head with your nice straight arms. Softly draw your shoulders down your back. And now drop your arms over to the right. Keep rooting down into the shins. Even if they're not really touching the ground, even if it's just the knees touching the ground, imagine rooting down into the shins to take some of the weight off the knees. All right, imagine there's an apple between your chin and your chest, and you keep softening the shoulders down the back. One more time, try to straighten into the arms, to squeeze the head, gluing the palms together. Inhale back to center, reach up, fill up. Exhale, drop it to the left. Again, rooting down into both shins evenly. An apple between your chin and your chest, arms straight and strong. Slowly come back up, bring your hands to your low back. Maybe your fingers point up. Wrap the elbows back there a little more. Keep rooting into the shins as you press your hips forward and lift your heart up. Find a backward bend here. If it's all right with your neck, you can drop your head back. If that's too much, just keep your chin drawing in towards your chest. Take one more breath. On an inhale, slowly come out of it. Lower your hands to the ground. Shine the heart forward. Fill up. Look up. One more little sip. Exhale, round it back into child's pose. Inhale, slide out onto the belly. Hands under shoulders. Untuck your toes. Now hug your body with your elbows and reach your elbows back towards the feet. Press into the feet to lift the heart up. Lift the hands, make sure you're not using them. Press the feet down to lift the heart. But now, actually use the hands to pull the heart forward. But then lift them back up and press into the feet to lift up one more time. Elbows hugging in and reaching back. Exhale, slowly lower down. Come back up to your hands and knees. Stacking everything in place again. Inhale, drop the belly. Use the hands to pull the heart forward. Look up, stick that tailbone up. Exhale, round it out. Belly button into the spine, tucking everything in, empty every last drop. One more inhale, see how long you can make it last. Exhale, round it up to kneeling, chin untucks last, heart lifts, shoulders draw down where they'll stay as you inhale the arms up. Interlace the fingers, try to squeeze the head, glue the palms, drop it over to the right. Rooting down into the shins, softening the shoulders down the back. Everything facing forward, that apple between your chin and your chest here. See if you can draw the arms back just a little bit more and imagine your right hand is pulling the left hand up and overhead. Slowly come back up and exhale, drop it to the left. Notice how your weight kind of wants to shift into the left knee a little more. Try to evenly root down into both shins here to keep that nice steady foundation. Try to straighten into the arms and glue the palms. Draw the arms back just a little bit more. Inhale, slowly come up. Bring your hands to your low back. Fingers point up or down. Press the hips forward, lift the heart. Maybe the head drops back now. Find your breath. Inhale, slowly come up, lower the hands, shine the heart forward, look up, fill up, savor this breath, savor this moment. Exhale, round it back, child's pose. Inhale, slide out onto the belly, hands under shoulders. Hug the elbows in, reach them back, press into the feet, lift up. Lift the hands, press into the feet, but then use the hands, pull the heart forward. And keep lifting, maybe starting to straighten into the arms a little bit here, but still just barely using the hands. Just using the hands to pull everything forward. All right, pressing into the feet to lift up. Maybe the arms straighten. See if you can soften the glutes, soften the whole back side. And then inhale, look up, reach up through the chin, opening your throat. And slowly lower back down. Curl the toes under, lift the knees up off the mat, lift the quads up off the mat, press up to plank pose, and then lift up, downward facing dog. Move around however you like here. If you're ready to get right into stillness, that's fine too. Or you can pedal it out or sway the hips a little bit. So now we're just breathing slow and steady through the nose. Still trying to find that little pause between each breath. Okay, inhale, lift the right foot up. Keep your hips in line now. Notice the tendency to kind of turn that hip out to the side. Don't do it. See, the left hip is lifting up and back and the right hip is lowering so that the hips stay in one line from the side. Now feel the left foot pressing down. Now press up through the right foot just as much as that left foot's pressing down. Feel that balance. Come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, draw your knee all the way to your nose and gently step it through. Lower the left knee down, inhale, rise up, fill up. It's just one breath, don't miss it. See how long you can make it last. Lower the hands down, step the left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Now we're gonna do that little cat-cow motion here. So I'll show you how it looks, but it doesn't have to be this big. You can start really subtle, but it's just like this arching as you shine the heart forward, roll the shoulders back. And then this rounding. You can keep your knees as bent as you like. And you can start it really small. But on the inhale, shine the heart forward. Try to lengthen the spine. And then even arch it back a little bit. And then the exhale, tuck the chin to the chest. Pull the belly button back into the spine. Round it out. Inhale, shine the heart forward. Maybe it feels better to spread your feet as wide as the hips here. Don't worry about how it looks. Just see how it feels to create this flexion and extension in the spine, moving with your breath. Next exhale, we're gonna round all the way up to standing. Really press into the feet. Let your arms and head be heavy. And come all the way up. Step your feet together. Press down into all four corners of both feet. And inhale the arms up. So each breath, really savor it. See how long you can make this exhale last. Press into the feet. Feel this hinge at the hips as you lengthen all the way down. Draw the belly in and up out of the way. Fold a little deeper. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back to plank and lower through chaturanga and meet back in downward facing dog. Take your time. Always feel free to skip the vinyasas if your shoulders are not feeling 100% or if you have anything going on in the wrists. Okay, now start by pressing the right foot down. Inhale, lift the left foot up and find that balance as the right foot presses down and left foot presses up equally. Level the hips out. Head is heavy. Arms are straight and strong. Come up on the toes. Exhale slowly. Bring your knee to your nose. Step it all the way through. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, rise up. Fill up. Stay a little longer. Exhale, lower the hands. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. All right, so don't move your knees at all. Just lower your booty back behind you. Sweep the floor, reach your arms forward, and then up overhead. Pull the belly in, draw the upper body back. Maybe you can start to look up. All right, reach up out of the waist a little more. Rock your weight to your heels. Let your toes come off the ground for a second, but then root them back down, but keep them light. So your whole feet are pressing into the ground, but your toes are light, your heels are heavy. Now lift your right knee up. Inhale, straighten the left leg, come on up. Exhale, bend back into that left knee. Feel your core here. Inhale, come up. Feel the left foot pressing down as the left quad lifts you up. Exhale, sink in. Keep reaching up out of the waist. That'll help with balance. Keep your core engaged. Exhale, sink in. One more time, inhale, come up. Now hug that knee in and up nice and tight. If you can balance here, peel the right arm back towards the back of the mat. Maybe your gaze can follow. So feel the left foot rooting down as the left quad lifts up and you grow a little taller. See if you can find a little twist, using that left hand to guide the right knee across the body a little bit. As you peel that right shoulder back, find your breath. Keep your knee lifted, sweep your both arms forward and up. Bring your hands to your heart as you tip forward, come down till everything's parallel to the ground. Shoot that leg back, flex the foot. Point the toes down and slightly in, get the hips level. Slowly step back to crescent lunge. Stack your knee over your ankle, your shoulders over your hips, reach up out of the waist. Get both hips facing forward. Try to get the left thigh parallel to the ground. Draw the low belly in and up, lift up through the heart. Keep the heart lifting as you draw the elbows towards each other behind you. Inhale, straight legs, straight arms, reach up, fill up. Exhale, sink in, bend that left knee deeply, open the heart. Take your time, inhale, up. Exhale, sink in. Keep the heart lifted, interlace your fingers back behind your sit bones. Keep pressing the left knee forward as you hinge forward, dropping your head inside that knee. Let your head become heavy. Keep reaching your arms up and overhead. So left knee's pressing forward, right heel's pressing back. Find your breath. Now release your arms, plant your right hand down, roll your left arm up, gaze up at it. Keep pressing the left knee forward and pressing the right heel back, rooting down into the right hand to roll that left shoulder back. Now lower the right knee and lift your upper body up like reverse crescent, bringing the left hand to the right thigh. Bend into the left knee more, reach the right hand up. Cartwheel hands to mat, shoot the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hips, try to stack them now. Keep your head heavy and your arms straight. Sink into the right heel a little more and twist open. Slowly come back, downward facing dog. Stay here for a couple breaths. Press through that thumb and index finger a little more. Head is heavy, shoulders softly drawing out of the ears. Find that little pause between each breath. Shift your gaze up between your hands, bend your knees and walk or hop to the top. Inhale, lift up halfway, hold on to it. Exhale, fold. Empty every last drop. Step your feet together. Knees don't move. Booty lowers back behind you. Sweep the floor. Reach the arms forward and up and sink in. Let the toes be light but grounded. Draw the upper body back a little more. Reach up out of the waist a little more. Pull the belly in and lift the left knee up. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, sink in. Keep pressing down through all four corners of that foot. Feel the quad lifting up off the knee as you reach up out of the waist. And try not to pop the knee forward. Try to lower the booty back behind you. Okay, one more time. Sink in. And come on up. Hug that knee in and up. Keep rooting into the right foot to grow a little taller. If you feel stable, peel that left arm back. Maybe gaze follows. Find that little twist. Find that little pause between your breath. Keep the knee lifted. Sweep both arms forward and up. Bring the hands to the heart. Tip forward. Everything parallels the ground as that leg shoots back. Flex that foot. Point the toes down and slightly in. Level the hips out. Find a little more length from heel to crown. Slowly step back into crescent lunge. Set it up. Knee over ankle. Knee pointed straight forward. Reach up out of the waist. Maybe right thigh gets parallel to the ground. Drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward to get both those headlights facing forward. Keep the heart lifted. Draw the elbows towards each other behind you. Inhale, straight legs, straight arms. Reach up, fill up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale up. Exhale, sink in. Keep the heart lifted. Interlace the fingers back there. Keep the right knee bent. Hinge forward. Drop your head inside that knee. Head is heavy. Breath is deep. Keep reaching the arms up and overhead. Softly drawing the shoulders out of the ears. Release the arms. Left hand plants down. Right arm rolls up. Gaze up at it. Find a little more space from your right knee to your left heel. Lower the left knee, come on up. Right hand finds left thigh like reverse crescent. Right knee bends deeply, left hand reaches up. Lower the hands down. Shoot that right foot up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hips, try to stack them. Head is hanging heavy. Press into your hands evenly. Arms straight and strong. Twist. Slowly come back to downward facing dog. And then we'll just lower down to the knees for a couple breaths, coming to a child's pose. You can have your knees together or your knees apart. See if you can come back to that box breathing. So for some reason, I've been on this kick the last couple of weeks, this forgiveness kick, just kind of realizing that every spiritual text or even the Bible really is, I think, just getting at this idea of forgiveness that I sometimes think we don't fully comprehend. Like we think forgiveness is just like reserved for big things that happen to you. But I kind of think maybe it's like all the little things. Like I think that anytime you're not fully embodying the joy that you can experience in this moment, I think it's because there's a little something that needs forgiven, and usually probably just yourself or even just ideas about yourself. But I've been trying to find where forgiveness resides in my body, what the act of forgiveness feels like, smells like, tastes like. So see if you can just, I try to identify that for a moment. Like what does forgiveness really mean? We all talk about it. We say we want to do more of it. See if you can find where that happens in your body. What does forgiveness look like, smell like, taste like? Imagine that maybe it's just the same as any other muscle. Practicing engaging that discipline muscle. Or imagine it's just like softening the tension out of the shoulders. It's just like this act of forgiveness that needs to be practiced. For some reason, it brought up the way that we think about things so backwards sometimes. And sometimes it takes like a little something like this for me to really understand that. Like, I think we think about things in this psychological time, you know, and they say time doesn't exist, and you're like, okay, what do I do with that information? It's like, okay, that time doesn't exist, but okay, what do I do with that? But for some reason, things like this help me to realize how unhelpful this idea of time can be, and where we can get around it. Because when you think about forgiveness, you think about like whether you have forgiven somebody or not, as though it's like a past thing, like, oh yeah, I already forgave him, right? But then sometimes maybe when that name comes up, there'll be a little bit of feelings like, oh, maybe I didn't forgive him yet. Maybe I still need to do that. And what if it's like, it's not like that? What if it's just, you know, just like everything else, it only exists in this moment? So what if it's not about like doing an evaluation sheet of yourself on how well you have or have not done this work? What if just in this moment you go, can I forgive any possibly more? Is there anything else I can let go of in this moment to fully experience the joy of being that can only be accessed in this moment? And then that lets me see that, okay, that's how the time is unhelpful, to think about things as like this past idea of things when really it's just right now, right? So see if like right now, if there's any more space for you to forgive, whatever it is, maybe something big, maybe something specific, maybe just all the things, maybe ahead of time, maybe all the things that are going to happen, that are going to annoy you, you're just already forgiving, accepting life the way it's showing up, accepting yourself the way you're showing up, and then finding this little practice around it, whether it's just like that breathing into the belly and softening the shoulders, or whatever it feels like to you, really practicing strengthening that forgiveness muscle. Okay, when you're ready, let's come back up, downward facing dog, and let's try to stay with this deep, slow breath. Still finding that little pause between the inhale and the exhale. Now we're gonna hop our feet up to the outside of our hands. Shift your gaze up, bend your knees, walk or hop it up there, and find that deep yogic squat, really starting to open up the hips. All right, so your sit bones are rooting down like they're heavy. Now you're starting to push the knees open to create space to draw the thumbs in towards the heart, okay? See if you can find a little more length in the spine. Actually, grab your opposite biceps and roll the shoulders back to shine the heart forward. And then bring the hands back to the heart. And try to press the knees open more to create more space. Draw the thumbs in a little closer. Now find this resistance, not only pushing out against your knees, but squeezing your elbows with your knees. Find your breath. Now we're gonna hook this right forearm underneath the shin and plant it down heavy there. Keep the sit bones heavy. Peel the left arm up, let the gaze follow. All right, so sit bones heavy, heart is light, soften the shoulders and twist. And slowly release. Now snuggle that left forearm right under that shin. Down heavy, sit bones heavy, right arm peels up, gaze up. Softly draw the shoulders down as you twist open. And slowly come back down. Now press into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Grab your right wrist. Step your right foot behind your left and drop your arms over to the left. Slowly come back up to center. Grab your left wrist. Step your left foot behind your right and drop your arms over to the right. Slowly come back to center. Without moving your knees, lower your booty back behind you enough to sweep the floor. Reach the arms forward and then up and sink into your chair. Draw your upper body back. Reach up out of the waist. Sink a little more weight into the heels. Lift the right knee up. Cross it over the left. Maybe your toes can wrap around your calf. Slide the right arm under the left. Maybe your palms can touch. Draw your elbows out and up. Soften your shoulders down the back. Lengthen the back of your neck. Soften into that standing ankle and knee to sink in a little more. Pull the belly in. Draw the upper body back. Find your breath. Find that little pause between each breath. Slowly come up. Lift the right knee up. Feel this hinge at the hips as you tip forward. Come down till everything's parallel to the ground. Shoot the right leg back. Flex it. Point the toes down and slightly in. Lengthen from heel to crown. Slow motion, step back to crescent lunge with eagle arms, stacking knee over ankle. Inhale up, shoulders over hips, find a little backward bend, keep drawing the left hip back. And release, plant the right hand down, roll the left hand up, gaze up at it. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot, sweep your left foot back, side plank. You can keep it stacked or lifted here, press down into the right hand, lift the hips a little higher, reach the left arm up alongside the ear. Now step the left foot behind you and flip it over like Wild Thing, lifting through the hips, lifting through the heart, relaxing the head and the neck, reach through the fingertips. Slowly come back to plank. Optional vinyasa, chaturanga, or just come right back, downward facing dog. Press into the fingers and knuckles a little more. Shake the head a little bit. Shift your gaze up between your hands. And we're gonna hop the feet up to the outside of the hands again, finding that deep yogic squat. Now maybe you just do the same one we just did, hooking that right forearm down and peeling the left arm up. Or maybe you want to try for a little bind here, reaching your left arm around. Sometimes to get a hold, I have to kind of lift my booty up a little bit and finagle it a little bit to get a hold, and then try to sink back into the heels. And usually I fall on my butt. And when you're ready, we'll switch again. Either hook that left shin under the left forearm under the shin, or reach around for that bind, maybe needing to lift up a little bit to grab a hold, and then trying to sink back in, maybe. Stay with your breath. Come back to center, press into the feet, come all the way up, grab your right wrist, step your right foot behind your left, drop your arms to the left. Inhale back up to center, grab your left wrist, step your left foot behind your right and drop your arms over to the right. All right, come back to standing at the top. Find that chair pose by lowering your booty back behind you. Keep drawing your upper body back and reaching up out of the waist. Sink a little weight into the heels. Now lift the left knee, cross it over the right. Maybe your toes can wrap all the way around on this side. Drop your left arm under the right. Maybe your palms can touch on this side. Soften that standing knee and ankle to sink in a little more. Draw the elbows out and up. Softly draw the shoulders down the back. Find your breath. Find that little pause between each breath. Slowly come to standing. Lift the knee high. Feel this hinge at the hips as you tip forward. Shoot that leg back. Everything parallel to the ground. Flex the foot. Toes point down and slightly in. Lengthen out. Slow motion. Step it back. Crescent lunge with eagle arms. Right knee presses forward. Right hip drawing back. Find a little backward bend. And release the left hand down. Right arm reaches up. Gaze up at the right hand. Roll the right shoulder back. Roll to the outside edge of the left foot. Sweep the right foot back. Side plank. Lift the hips a little higher. Reach the right arm up alongside the ear. Find your breath. Step the right foot behind you. Flip it over. Wild Thing. Hips are lifting. Heart is lifting. Head is relaxed. Reach through the fingers. Slowly come back to plank. Lower through chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into your heels. One more time, make it last a little bit longer. Okay, now we're gonna shift the gaze up between the hands. We're gonna hop the feet to the outside of the hands again. Find that deep yogic squat. And maybe from here, you're gonna try an arm balance. If you wanna try the arm balance, your hands will look just like down dog. Fingers spread wide, hands, shoulders. Now make this more about the strength of your arms than getting anywhere in the pose at all. Really feel this strength in your arms as you stack everything in place. Find that external rotation of the upper arms, that internal rotation of the lower arms as you hug the elbows in towards each other, and really feel this strength as you try to lift the feet up off the ground. Now the key to keeping your legs stuck to the outside of your arms is that resistance of pushing out against the knees and squeezing in against the elbows. See if you can lift your feet up here, but make it more about the strength of your arms Maybe just one foot lifts. If you get both feet lifted, see if you can draw them in and up a little bit more by engaging the core a little more. Find your breath. Maybe from there you drop into a headstand. Maybe from your headstand you come back into your arm balance. Maybe from there you shoot it back, chaturanga. Take your time. In a couple breaths, we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. All right, in your downward facing dog, inhale through the nose, come up high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, sinks you into the heels. Shift your gaze up between the hands, bend your knees and walk or hop to the top. Inhale to lift up halfway, exhale to fold. Lower your booty, sweep the floor, reach your arms forward and up, sink into that chair pose. And with each exhale, lower the booty down another inch or two. We're gonna slowly lower all the way to the ground. Find your core. If you need to use your hands to soften the fall, you can. Otherwise, just slow and control. We're gonna bring the booty all the way to the ground and find a boat pose. Grabbing the backs of your thighs as you straighten the legs. Pull the belly in. Hug the legs in towards center line. Reach out through the balls of the feet. Lift your heart. Find your breath. Find your core. Notice how squeezing the whole legs together will engage more of the core. And release. Hug your knees in, roll back onto your back. And we're gonna roll the whole length of our spine a couple times. See if you can get the toes to touch the ground behind the head and rock all the way up to a seat a couple of times. And when you're ready, we're gonna stay in that seat and we're gonna straighten the right leg out in front. So we're gonna bring this left heel a couple inches from the glute and a couple inches from the thigh. We're gonna kick out through the right heel. See if you can lift that right foot off the ground. Now inhale, reach up, keep all this length as you hinge forward. If you can't grab the foot, that's okay, just grab whatever you can grab and keep lifting the heart and pulling it towards the foot, drawing the shoulders out of the ears. Keep the right leg super activated. Now if your left shoulder drops below your left knee and you wanna reach around for a bind, you can. The palm will face back and the thumb will face down as you reach around. Maybe you can grab a hold here. All right. Keep kicking through the right, or maybe you go and grab a strap or something as well. I never used to be able to get this one, but now I can get it. And I don't know that anything really opened. I think it's just how I come into it is a little different. After taking Carol's class, Carol helped me the first time to get it, and now I can just get it. It's kind of awesome. Ashtanga is pretty awesome. So we keep kicking through the right heel. It's okay if the left sit bone's off the ground too. Imagine that your right quad and your left foot are your sit bones now. You're pressing down into the right quad and the left foot. Still trying to lengthen up through the crown, and maybe then still drawing your heart down towards the foot. Still using your exhale to soften through the face and the shoulders. And slowly come back up. We're gonna find a little twist to the left. Keep the right leg activated. Turn to the left, plant the left fingers at the base of the spine to lengthen. Reach the right hand up, keep the left knee pointed straight up at the ceiling. Now hook the elbow outside the knee for leverage and turn to gaze over the left shoulder. Keep the right leg activated, kick out through the heel. Draw the left shoulder back a little more and twist your spine open. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale, softens and deepens. Really use your breath now. You're nice and warm. So a lot of what we do in yoga is all about the spine. And typically it takes 30, 40 minutes to warm up the rest of your body enough for us to even get into the spine. For us to loosen the tension in those erectors and the shoulders so that we can't even twist the spine at all. That's why the spine twists are always at the end. It's like the whole class was almost a warm-up for this pose to get into the spine more. See if you can make something happen here. On the inhale, find more length in your spine. Exhale, twist the spine open. Really slowly come back through center. Find a little counter twist on the right. Maybe your booty lifts up off the ground. And slowly come back. We're gonna switch. Straighten the left leg out. Bring the right foot in. A couple inches from the glute, a couple inches from the thigh. Kick out through the left heel. Inhale, reach up. Keep that length. Grab the foot if you can, or whatever you can grab. Now pull the heart forward. Draw the shoulders down and back. If your shoulder goes below your knee and you want to reach around, you can. Thumb down, palm back. Then reestablish, rooting down into the right foot and the left quad, kicking out through the left heel. Use your exhale to soften the face, soften the shoulders out of the ears. See if you can find that little pause between each breath. Maybe even coming back to that 4 parts equal breath now that we're on the floor. And released. Lengthen up. We're going to turn to the right. Plant the right fingertips at the base of the spine to lengthen. Reach the left hand up. Look, elbow outside knee. Knee pointing straight up at the ceiling. Gaze over the right shoulder. Draw the right shoulder back more. Twist your spine open. Kick out through the left heel. Keep the left quad activated. See how long you can make this breath last. Really slowly unwind, come through center, find that counter twist, maybe booty lifts up. And slowly come back to center. Bring both your feet flat on the ground. Reach your hands forward and slowly roll back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And find a happy baby. So if you have any tension in your low back, see how you can massage it out here as you rock side to side. Really trying to pull that small of the back down into the ground. So if you have tension there, trying to find it and work it out. Okay, now we'll lower our feet down flat on the ground, stacking our knees over our ankles. Reach your fingers down to touch your heels, just to make sure your heels are in close to your glutes. Press into all 4 corners of the feet and lift the hips up. See if you can keep lifting the hips up and get your shoulders underneath your body, rocking side to side. Maybe you can interlace your fingers under there. Maybe you can even glue your palms all the way together. So press into the feet, lift the hips. Try to keep the knees stacked over the ankles, so in line with the hips, not splaying in or out. Draw the hands down into the mat, lift the hips a little bit higher. Find your breath. Roll up onto the tippy toes, lift everything up one more time, and then really slowly lower down. Try to touch the upper vertebrae down first, and feel each vertebrae slowly rolling back down. All right, now keep the booty down, but arch the back up off the ground, lifting the chest. And then again, try to touch the upper vertebrae down first, and then the next one, and then the next one, until you're tucking the tailbone under and lift the booty off the ground just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do one more back bend. You can do just like we just did, or if you wanna do full wheel, you can bring your hands up by your ears with your fingers pointing back towards your feet. And slowly lift up. If you need to make a quick pit stop on the top of your head for a second, you can, and then lift up. Press into your hands and your feet. Relax your head and your neck. Find your breath. Lift everything up one more time. Roll up onto your tippy toes. Really slowly come down. If you're all the way up, tuck your chin first. Try to touch the upper vertebrae down first. Then slowly roll each vertebrae back down. Hug your knees into your chest. Now we're gonna roll back into a plow pose. See if you can get the toes to touch the ground behind your head. Soften through your neck and shoulders. Notice how just relaxing more through your neck and shoulders will invite this down into the upper middle back a little more, making this more about the curve in your spine and less about your neck. Maybe you can interlace your fingers back behind you. Maybe you can even glue the palms together, drawing the hands down into the ground. Try not to let your breath be restricted here. You can stay here for the last couple breaths, or you can lift up into a shoulder stand, if you want to, straightening the legs up towards the ceiling, creating a shelf for your hips with your hands, zipping the legs together, reaching up through the balls of the feet. Find your breath. Lift your feet a little higher. And we'll lower back into that plow for one full round of that box breath. See how long you can make it last. See what you can soften. Lower your hands down to the ground. Use them as the brakes, slow as you can go. Upper vertebrae rolls down first, and then the next one, and then the next one. Once the booty touches the ground, keep squeezing the legs together, flex the feet. Press out through the heels as you slowly take 10 seconds to lower the legs all the way down to the ground. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. So we'll do one more gentle spinal twist, and then we'll make our way into Shavasana. If there's any one last pose you would rather do, feel free to do that now. Okay, bring your arms out like a cactus. Shift your hips to the right and lower your knees to the left. So we're trying to stack the hips here, so gaze down. Maybe you still need to draw that left hip back a little bit to stack them. Now gaze out over the right hand and try to relax your face. Relax your shoulders. If that right hand is not touching the ground, see if you can invite it all the way down to the ground. All right, close your eyes. Now come back to that 4 equal parts and really use all of your attention, all of your awareness to stay right here in this breath. All right? If anything comes up for you, any thoughts at all, see if you can find that little forgiveness, just letting it go, not judging yourself at all, but just really trying to let something happen here. All right? Using the breath, using the yoga to let go of not just this tension in your body, but also maybe some of these ideas about yourself, the story you've been telling. Just inviting yourself to leave that behind right now and just be here with the breath. Seeing if you can let go just a little bit more. Slowly come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Cactus the arms. Shift your knees to the left, lower the knees to the right, gaze down, see if those hips are stacked. Maybe still draw that right hip back a little more. Gaze out over the left hand, relax your shoulders, relax your face. Close your eyes and see how long you can make this inhale last. Hold it at the top. See how long you can take to let that air out and then hold it suspended out. Slowly come back to center, hug your knees into your chest one last time. And then let your legs go long on the mat. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Let your toes fall open. Hands by your sides, palms facing up. Or one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. See if you can come back to that feeling or taste or texture of forgiveness. And see if you can feel that everywhere in your body. Imagine this next inhale is coming through the membrane of your skin, coming through every pore, every cell of your body, from your toes to the crown of your head. Imagine evenly breathing that air all the way in. Same thing on the exhale. Imagine it's just permeating out through you and softening all the muscles, all the bones, all the tendons. One more breath like that. Imagine just evenly coming through you, all parts of you, breathing into your cells. On the exhale, see if you can let go even more than you thought possible. Invite a deeper breath back into your body. Invite movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And invite the joy of being to come back into your life, back into this moment. When you're ready, roll onto either side. And see if you can look at this instead of as the end of your practice, as the beginning of your practice. This was just to set the stage, just to get you into this space. Now, the real practice is seeing how long you can stay in this space, seeing if you can do the things you need to do today while staying connected to your breath. When you're ready, we'll slowly press back up to a seat. If you have the luxury, maybe you can even make it your priority today. Just stay in this present moment. Maybe do a little experiment. Maybe you need to clean the house. See if you can stay in this place and stay connected to your breath while you clean the house. If you fall out of it, just sit back down or lay down, come back to the breath and start again. And if you have the time, see if you can make it a priority today to see how many of the things on your list you can do while in this state. You might not be quite as efficient. You might be more efficient. It's been my fun thought experiment lately. Like, I'm just not even doing things if I can't stay present while I do it. And I know I won't have that luxury forever. There'll be things I have to do even if I can't stay in this blissed out state while I do it. But I've had a lot of time to practice making this my priority, and it's been really, really nice. Inhale the arms up overhead. Squeeze your palms together. One more time, create some space. Lift up through the heart. Now bring the hands down to the heart. Let the head bow to the wisdom of the heart. Lift the thumbs to that space above the eyebrows. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming. Thank yourself for showing up. May all beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. May our thoughts and actions in some way contribute to that. Namaste. Ciao. Chip went to work today, so